How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about Tales from the Darkside. This is Season 1, Episode 4, and this one's entitled Painkiller. It came out October 14th, 1984, and was directed by Armand Mastroianni, and stars Lou Jacobi, Peggy Cass, and Farley Gardner. This was written by Haskell Barkin. And overall, this is one of those really poignant episodes, and it talks about harsh realities that sadly still apply today. And it's a guy who's in terrible pain, and he's watching the world either not care or actively get mad at him and screw him over. And it's about a really terrible situation. This guy, out of the blue, for seemingly no reason, suddenly lives in a ton of pain, and a doctor, a mysterious doctor, starts to tell him, hey, I have a cure. I know what's causing you this pain, but it's a dark and twisted thing that we're gonna have to do. And it's one of those, seeing this character, who's a generally good-natured, happy guy, get pushed to the point where when something's awful is proposed, he might just consider it because he's really been pushed far and you really get to see what the world's done to him. Also, really good performance from the doctor. He really feels like this cool Jeffrey Combs-esque character, and got to love his performance. So menacing and so off and creepy, Gotta really love that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking about the plot. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and make sure you guys have a basic understanding as to what this episode's about. We open up with an old couple sitting in their living room watching TV. They're watching Night of the Living Dead, because of course, if you're in a horror movie, you watch Night of the Living Dead. It's a copyright-free movie, but also, let's not forget, George A. Romero actually created this show, so it's probably the director giving him a little loving send-up there. But anyway, they're watching Night of the Living Dead. The wife is eating chocolates, and you get to see the man timidly ask, Is that a caramel? I love caramels, can I please have one? And the wife's like, no, you're on a diet, go back to studying. And you see, this old man's reading a book on computer programming. You see, he has this job with auto parts, and he's good at his job, and he generally likes it. But it doesn't pay quite enough, and the wife wants him to study, the wife wants him to better himself and get a better, higher-paying job with more prestige. She says, computers are the way of the future, and boy was this episode right on that. But he's studying computers. It's something he doesn't really understand. And it's a case of like the auto part store, it's not glamorous, but he's good at it. And it's one of those cases of, them looking at their lives this far down the line and saying, is that really it? Is that all we accomplished? And the wife goes, honey, I want you to do something more, even though it's not the world that he belongs in, So it's an interesting concept right off the bat there. But then, of course, the episode happens. The man gets up and goes to the kitchen to get a spoon. It's a really innocuous task, it's just nothing, He goes to pick up the spoon when all of a sudden, as if by magic, he's struck with horrible pain. And he falls on the kitchen floor and is lying there on his back, just in pain. And the wife comes up, do you need an ambulance? No, I'm fine, I just need to lie there. And the wife actually agrees. The wife is like, yeah, fine, you can lie on the kitchen floor. That's cool, is literally even stepping over the poor guy. But he's like, if I'm gonna spend the night on the kitchen floor, can you at least please give me a blanket? And the wife comes back with this old green blanket and puts it on him and says, I got you this blanket because I didn't want to waste any of the good ones. Oh man, it's such a minor thing, but it's so harsh, it's something you can see someone saying, and totally not meaning it to be that harsh, but I got you this blanket because I didn't want to waste one of the good ones. Oh man, and then she leaves him to sleep on the kitchen floor. Well, eventually he does have to go to a doctor, but before that happens, something strange happens. You see, he's lying there the first night with his little not good blanket looking out the kitchen window, and he could have sworn he saw a man's face. Someone looking in at the window, but of course the wife doesn't see it, doesn't believe him. But when he does go to the doctor, same man. You know, it's the man looking in through his window. Oh, no, sir, you're in a ton of pain. Why would I do that? But there's just a hint right off the bat that there's something off with this character. Something weird about the doctor, and the idea, I could have sworn I saw you peeking in through the window. That's creepy, and also, you know, you kind of wonder how much is the doctor orchestrating all this. But anyway, they go through lots of testing, and you can see something here that kind of dates the episode. The wife starts complaining about the high cost of the medical bills and saying, these doctor visits cost you $35, and that brace he wants you to wear costs you $300. I mean, I know 1980s dollars or more, but boy, if you could have a doctor visit for only $35, you'd think you got off cheap nowadays. I don't know what happened, but boy, between then and now, it didn't always used to be this way. Gee. But anyway, he can't work. So the wife is like, you're supposed to be working. We're losing money instead of gaining money. We only have so much savings. And he goes, well, there's a cashier position at the garage. Maybe you could work. And she's instantly offended by this and goes on and on about him. Are you sure you're really in pain? Are you just faking this for attention? Are you lazy? And this is really where you see he's getting in trouble for something he didn't do. He's hurt. He's the victim. And yet you get him getting yelled at by his wife. How dare you be sick and be hurt and cost me money? Kind of reminds me of Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, which talks about similar things, you know? But yeah, getting yelled at because you got hurt, that's just cruel, but also rings really close to real life. kind of sad there, huh? But anyway, it's after this that he's called into the doctor's office, and the doctor makes him that deal. And I won't say what the doctor says has to be done, but it's this really weird and twisted, messed up thing, and it's something you would never agree to unless the world had put you through such heck as he did, you know? And it's a really messed up concept, and the way it plays out is interesting, and you kind of go a fair bit in before you even get here, and it happens, and I'm like, huh, what are the implications? And then there's another twist towards the end, which of course I won't spoil, and then the episode cuts off really quick. It's one of those that it was getting really good, and I was getting really invested in, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we're going to end it there. And I mean, it's an okay place to end it. They told a lot of what they wanted to tell, but at the same time I'm like, ah, man, I could go for this episode being twice as long. I want to see what happens next, you know, and that's sort of the biggest flaw with this episode is I'm like, I wish it was twice as long as it is. But overall, this is an episode that is all about harsh realities and things that definitely still apply today. Someone going out, working his whole life, and when he needs a bit of sympathy, when he needs a bit of help, he doesn't get it. The world, he's trying to live his little life, and the world's squishing him down, and it is sadly still really relevant to this day, and I definitely say give it a watch, you know. But anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Tales from the Darkside playlist. So if you want to see more, you can click there and see more. I've reviewed the first 3 episodes as well as the Joe Hill graphic novel. So there's more to watch there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.